Welcome to Fallout Funds. By now, I'm sure you've heard about the Kentucky farmer that found 700 Civil War-era gold coins buried in his cornfield, valued at over $1 million. Do you want to be next? Here's 5 buried treasures still not found. Number 1. Mosby's Treasure in Virginia. It is said that somewhere deep in the heavily forested woods of Fairfax County, Virginia, a large treasure is hidden. At the time it was buried, this treasure included gold, silver, jewelry, candlesticks, and other family heirlooms, all of them taken by Union troops from Southern homes. At the time, the value of the treasure was estimated to be about $350,000. Today, estimates put the value at more than $6 million. In 1863, Confederate Ranger John Singleton Mosby and his band of raiders snuck 10 miles deep into Union territory. After a successful capture of Union troops at the Fairfax, Virginia courthouse, Mosby sped back toward the Confederate line. However, before he got back to Southern territory, he was warned that Union soldiers were nearby. As the legend goes, Mosby buried the treasure in a burlap sack between 2 trees. He marked the spot with his knife. While he later sent his men back to recover this treasure, they were captured and killed. It is believed this hidden treasure remains undiscovered to this day. Number 2. Idaho Stagecoach Robbery Treasure. In the early days of the Idaho Territory, stagecoaches provided transportation for people and goods along the routes from Montana to Utah. On July 26, 1865, bandits known as the Picket Coral Gang held up a stagecoach carrying 2 large strongboxes filled with gold, including 15 heavy gold bars and pouches with gold dust and nuggets. While many of the passengers died in the holdup, a survivor fled to a nearby town and identified the notorious gang. Vigilantes gave chase and soon overcame the bandits, killing them all. They had a total of $50 between them. To this day, there is no record of the gold bars ever being sold. Some speculate the loot was buried in the Portneuf Canyon. Pirate treasure at Hawaii's Palamano Point. As the legend goes, 16th century English pirate captain Thomas Cavendish is said to have buried $5 million in gold, silver, and other valuables near Palamano Point, an exposed reef just off Hawaii's Big Island. While treasure hunters have tried for hundreds of years, no one has yet to unearth this bounty of Hawaiian riches. Gangster John Dillinger's suitcase filled with cash in Wisconsin. Known as Public Enemy No. 1, one of America's most famous gangsters, John Dillinger, is said to have buried $200,000 in cash in a suitcase in the Wisconsin woods just months before his death in 1934. Dillinger and his men spent the spring of 1934 hiding out at the Little Bohemia Lodge near Manitowish Waters, Wisconsin. The FBI raided the lodge after a phone tip disclosed the gangster's location. During the shootout, Dillinger escaped out the back door with his suitcase filled with cash. According to legend, he ran 500 yards north into the woods and dug a hole near 2 pines and an oak and buried the suitcase. 3 months later, Dillinger was shot and killed outside the Biograph Theater in Chicago by federal agents who had been tipped off by Dillinger's girlfriend's landlady, known as the Woman in Red. No one has ever reported finding that suitcase to this day. Jesse James and his band of outlaws lost loot in Oklahoma. If you've heard of large treasure of gold from the Wild West era supposedly hidden by Jesse James and his band of outlaws in the Wichita Mountains of Oklahoma, you aren't alone. For generations, treasure hunters have sought to find an estimated $1 to $2 million worth of gold bullion hidden by the infamous Jesse James in that mountain range. James and his brother Frank had strong family ties to Oklahoma. Throughout the Midwest, the pair notoriously robbed trains and banks, making them some of the wealthiest outlaws of their day. In 1872, James robbed a Mexican caravan owned by a Mexican general near Geronimo, Oklahoma. While being pursued by a posse, James is said to have buried that gold bullion in the Wichita Mountains, and it has never been found to this day. Thank you for watching, and I wish you good luck. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless.